Hello, James Stewart here. Now, many of you know me for the codes I've done, software I've programmed, and other videos, but many of you don't know me for my past. Now, I was bullied at all three schools I went to, Richard Alibun and Rush Green, which are both junior schools, and Eastbrook School, which was a senior school. But it was at Eastbrook School that the bullying was the worst. Not helped by being a teenager as well. Bullying is something that is everywhere. It's a sad fact of life, really. Bullying occurs at the home, on the streets, in school, at work, and online. Again, another sad fact that it's got even further now. But at least with online you can block people and report them a bit easier. I wish when I was at school I could just press a block button and block the bullies, but unfortunately that's not the case. In fact, I wish YouTube and other sites like that had been invented when I was at school. I might have made some more friends. It wasn't I didn't want friends. Of course I wanted friends. I just didn't fit in for some reason. Reasons why I was bullied were something I've learnt about bullies is that they will find anything wrong with you and use that as ammunition, like a weapon against you. The most ridiculous things to more serious things like disabilities. For me, it was length of my hair, which is absolutely ridiculous. And for my religious beliefs, wherever I went, people would shout Jesus. Though it was mainly verbal bullying with me, it really got to me over the years, and I've tried to put it behind me since I left school all those years ago. But I'm talking about it now in the hope that it will help myself and others. There was some physical bullying too, the odd punch, or, one particularly distressing memory I have is being in the PE physical education locker rooms, and the teachers had left us alone and the children took turns to spit at me. Other times children would throw chewing gum into my hair, which was a right mess to get out. And of course teachers didn't exactly do anything to help. See, I told teachers, but a lot of them lived by their don't tell tales way of dealing with bullies. In other words, just don't do anything. In fact, one teacher took me out of class because I was the one being bullied, as if I was in the wrong somehow. Well, at Eastbrook School they had an anti-bullying policy, which is about as much use as, well, what it was you could post a note about the person bullying you into a bully box, which is like a post box, which was in one of the corridors. The stupid thing is, once the bullies found out you had reported them, they would bully you harder. So, no use really. And like I said, a lot of the teachers didn't care. In fact, some of the teachers themselves were a bit of bullies really. We had a teacher, science teacher called Mr. Ramsbottom. Yes, at least we can make fun of his name. He sort of owned the library, or was in charge, one of the big men, and he would chuck everyone out of the library if somebody breathed too loud, and that is only a slight exaggeration. He was a right pain, not only a horrible teacher, but he would just throw people out the library, everyone for one person being too loud or whatever. And we needed a library to use the computers, to use the books, to do our homework, to do these stupid leaflet things, booklets we had to fill in, organised by that very teacher. Yeah. Another teacher, Mr. Peacock, design teacher, he loved punishing people for one person doing something wrong. He purposely kept us in the cold, joking about how he didn't feel the cold. Well, no wonder if he didn't have a heart at all, so perhaps that's why. Maybe he was a robot. But going back to these bullies now, I had one or two friends, and I really do appreciate them. I worked hard at school, but I got good grades in that, especially in English, science. People knew me because I did electronics well. I did it as a hobby thanks to one of my older brothers, Matthew. Um, and people in science would often ask for help when we was doing electrical circuits and stuff like that. It's great. And when I got a better teacher in design technology, Mrs. Ackley, she realised, I'd done all these simple things before and allowed me to do a much more complicated electronics project, which was great. But when it came to deciding my final classes, I wanted to do electronics, but not enough people had picked it. Also wanted to do religious education, but not enough people picked it, and so I missed that. Another teacher mess up was work experience. That would have been a great introduction for me to work experience, but in the end, my form tutor, Miss Rowley, she just couldn't be bothered, and so we all missed out on work experience, which was a right pain. But the bullying got so bad at Eastwood School that I decided to leave, which I now think is a big mistake because the bullies won, and I left without any GCSE qualifications. But at least I could take life, a bit more at my own pace and study at home and all that. I wish I'd never been to school. I've forgotten a lot about it, but it was absolutely horrible. But not going to dwell on it. Basically, what I want to say today, say no to bullying. There is no reason for anyone to suffer because of it. I heard someone say once, everyone in their lifetime will be bullied or would have been bullied. Everyone in their lifetime would have been bullied or would have been a bully or both, and I believe that's true. But you can do something about it. Tell your parents, tell your friends, tell someone. Someone will do something about it. I know it's hard, and I know it's hard for me, but ignore it if you can. Physical bullying is bad, but I always found the name calling, the worst, because it really sticks with you when you get at home and that. So sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me is an absolute load of rubbish. Whoever made that needs a good slap. Whoever thought that up. But yeah, if it's online bullying, then you can report to moderators. You can block them. Thankfully on YouTube, that's something you can do. I still get bullying now. People taking the mick out of the way I sound, the way I look, and that it really gets to me. But I just block them. It's a bit more difficult in real life, as I've said before, but there has to be someone. Go talk to someone can help you. Say no to bullying. It's not something you should have to suffer for like I did and so many people did over the years. I hope this video has helped in some way. I've got on my site a bit about bullying. Please contribute if you can, or just read it. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and that's bye for now. Bye.